This is low-key emotional, fam. This has been a long journey. I can't even lie. It's been from me recording in my car all the way until now where I'm kind of transitioning into better equipment, just a better setup and everything. And I love what I got going on though. And I appreciate all the support, but it's only getting better. I don't even know how this started, but I guess I got some great comments, some great supporters that were like, you have to listen to the Strokes. And you guys, on my own time, while I'm driving, while I'm hanging out, I listen to them now. I really love their music. Like, I'm a big fan of the Strokes at this point, and so much so, if you watch my Portland vlog that I put up here, I was listening to the Strokes while on those mini electric scooters. I'm on the scooter just flying through Portland, my first time on the Northwest. I'm over here in Connecticut, and I have Eyes of the World, I have Juice Box, Vision of Division bumping in my headphones, and I'm just letting the breeze hit me, loving life. That's a moment that I'll never ever forget. Ever. So with all that being said, today I am finally ranking the Strokes. I'm going to be ranking their albums first from my least favorite to favorite, and then I'm going to be ranking my favorite 25 songs from 25 to first, my favorite song of the Strokes. Definitely hit the subscribe button, fam. If you guys want to rock out with me, that's the Patreon version, and if you want to see the Comedown Machine, that's on Patreon right now, but it's going to be on YouTube at some point, and I'm going to put all the albums, including this video, into a playlist on my channel, and that's what I'm going to do continuously throughout all of the rankings. And definitely let me know, you guys, in the comments below, what group has a discography that's on the same level as the Strokes or even greater than the Strokes. Let me know, because after I finish Radiohead and I have Linkin Park and then we got Deftones, there's a bunch of other groups on top of that that I have to get started with, but I don't really know where, so you guys have to let me know. Is there anybody like the Strokes? Is there anybody like Julian Casablanca that I should listen to? Let's begin. So for my least favorite album by the Strokes, it has to be the Comedown Machine, or just Comedown Machine. And not saying that I really don't like the album per se, I just feel like even off rip, the way that it starts didn't hit me the way that other Strokes albums hit me. But I do love their experimenting and trying different sounds. Julian was singing in ways that I never heard him sing before throughout this album. But you guys could see that video when it drops on YouTube or Patreon to really get a good gist of how I felt about that album. I'm not going to take forever going through each album. I've already done that. Number 5 is going to be Room on Fire. I know I got some heat from a couple comments from what I said before, but that's just how I feel like this is very similar to Is This It? It's just not as good in my opinion. Still, the auto-tune just doesn't hit for me. There's so many songs though that have stuck out to me. A lot of low moments in this album. A couple low moments are even worse than Comedown Machines in my opinion, but there's way more high moments in this album than in the Comedown Machine, so I had to put it above it. Now, my fourth favorite is Angles. This one was just a fun time. Right off rip, it went crazy, and I loved how the guitar and the drums and everything was just going nuts, and it was definitely experimental, but I love how they stuck within their pocket as well of things that they really do great, and this was just a way more fun time. I've actually been going back to this album more than either of the other two. Now, this is the album that started all, and I actually didn't think that I was going to have I didn't think that the Strokes were going to have any albums that I love more than this one. This started off right off rip. You could go back to that. It's crazy going back to watch that reaction. Like, I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and look at how far we came. But yeah, man, this is special. This album is really, really special. Has some of my favorite songs up here. At first, you can see how I wasn't rocking with it because of the auto-tune and the effects that was filtered over Julian's voice, and just the whole sound that they had it was different for me. I never heard this type of music like that. But then once I just embraced it, and once I got like a feel of how they were going about it, I just was riding along with it. And honestly, then I found myself playing it more and more after editing that video. I loved it more, and I got to really feel like what they were doing to kind of differentiate themselves from other groups at that time. And they did it perfectly. Is This It? So yeah, I'm shocked. My second favorite album from the Strokes is First Impressions of Earth. Go watch that video. Julian took the filters off of his voice and sung his heart out within this album. And so many of these songs are my personal favorites. It's really crazy because I just did this album right before I went on my first solo trip to the Pacific Northwest. And the soundtrack of that entire trip was literally J. Cole Friday Night Lights and the Strokes First Impressions of Earth. I don't know how. I don't know how my mind and my taste palette, like why is my musical palette like that? where I can listen to these two different things right there. And also I was listening to a lot of old school music, just going, I don't know what that was about, but I loved it. The Spinners, Michael Jackson. I'm listening to that triangle of music throughout that trip. I don't know, but goddamn. First Impressions of Earth. Every time I listen to this, it just reminds me of that trip, of that feeling of just feeling free. Love this album so much. This is probably, this and my first favorite are the two albums that I've went back to the most, if you guys were wondering. And comment below also, I forgot to say, comment below what's your favorite albums. Rank them if you can for me, 6, 5, all the way up. And yes, I listen to the EPs, and yes, I listen to the New York City Cops. Just want to let you guys know. I listen to everything that you guys told me to listen to. I did it. This is my ranking. So, The New Abnormal is definitely my favorite album from The Strokes.
Wow.
There's probably only 2 songs that I skip while listening to this album, and I go back to it a lot. I actually really need to get the vinyl so I could hang it up here because it's definitely my favorite. It's my favorite album from them, and I listen to it so much. So yeah, because it's a staple within my musical catalog now of great albums that mean a lot to me that I didn't expect, to really hit me in certain ways. Like the start, The Adults Are Talking, phenomenal. You can see 500 million streams, and then ending it amazing with At the Door. Why Our Sundays Are Depressing isn't for me. I'll be honest, you guys. That's one of the skips that I have, but I have to give it more time. But At the Door, going into Not the Same Anymore, closing it out with my favorite closing of any Strokes album, OD to the Mets. And it's funny because in my reaction, I wasn't a huge fan of OD to the Mets. People in the comments was like, give it a chance. And you guys, I did. As time went on, it's my favorite for sure. And you guys are going to find out my favorites in like 1 minute when it comes to, in like 30 seconds, when it comes to my 25 favorite songs from The Strokes. So yeah, The New Abnormal is my favorite, you guys. This gives me everything that I needed from The Strokes. And I'll be honest, if I could just grab 7 of these songs and my favorite songs from the other albums, that's everything. Okay, we got it right here, ranking The Strokes. These are my 25 favorite songs from The Strokes, starting with my 25th favorite. Surprisingly, this song was my favorite on Room on Fire until I started listening to it more and more, and actually other songs started to go higher than that. So I know that this is the most popular one, but it's not my personal favorite. Number 25 is Reptilia. Number 24 is off of Is This It? Take It or Leave It. 23 is on Room on Fire, Whatever Happened. My 22nd is Taken for a Fool. Right outside the top 20 at number 21 is Metabolism. And you guys know I was bopping my head during that reaction. I was just going crazy within that on Angles. So we had 2 songs back to back on Angles. But then we go right into a song that was one of my favorites. And then as time went on, it started to drop more and more. Other songs just kind of got better to me. And that's Vision of Division being at number 20. And then now back to back off of Comedown Machine, we got number 19. My 19th favorite song is 50/50, and 18th favorite song is Chances. 17th is Selfless. 16th is Electro Cityscape, and 15 is Call It Fate, Call It Karma. This song went so high for me because I never heard them do it. It reminded me of songs that I heard within movies, and I think I've heard that before, and maybe even like on 51st Dates or something with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. I don't know if that song's there, but it just reminds me of that vibe. So it's something that you could really just lay and be peaceful. Not anything that you could just lay and be peaceful with it. Now 14th is Juicebox. I love Juicebox. My God. Look at Magic Number 13 is my favorite closer from The Strokes, OD to the Mets. He literally said, the old ways are at the bottom of the ocean, now have swallowed the only thing that's left of us. So pardon the silence that you're hearing is turned into a deafening, painful, shameful roar. What the fuck? My God. OD to the Mets, it builds up. I don't like the beginning of OD to the Mets too much, but the ending and like the middle to the ending, phenomenal ending of the album. Now, for 12 and 11, we got back-to-back Room on Fire, my favorite 2 songs off of Room on Fire, which is at number 12, I Can't Win, and at 11, Automatic Stop. So now, we are at the top 10, my favorite 10 songs from The Strokes. At number 10, I have Razorblade. At number 9, I have You Only Live Once. So back-to-back First Impressions of Earth. At number 8, I have Trying Your Luck. 7 is Two Kinds of Happiness. I gotta play that again. My 6th favorite song from The Strokes is The Adults Are Talking. Hey, my fifth favorite song and my favorite song off of Is This It is When It Started. Whoo! We're in the top four. We're in the top four, you guys. Let me know, what are your favorite songs from The Strokes? What is your top 5 favorite songs from The Strokes? Comment it below, comment it below, comment it below. Let me know. I love you guys. It's insane how far we've gotten with this journey. And now, sadly, it's at the end. But still some more. I know I got to listen to Julian Casablanca's solo album. And I know I have to listen to The Voids, where he ventured off from The Strokes. So I'm on it. My fourth favorite Strokes song is Under Cover of Darkness, which is also my favorite song off of Angles. I love this shit. My third favorite song is Not the Same Anymore. And let me tell you guys, I was on the highway once driving, and I just felt like my life was just kind of out of whack. I felt like I was making changes. They weren't coming quick enough, clearly, but I was making changes, and I'm like, yo, I could feel myself changing. And I'm like, I'm not going to be the same no more. I'm really not. Like, it was like a crazy epiphany. I'm driving on the highway. It's raining at nighttime. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to be the same no more. And this is when I finally loved this song. Because I kind of wasn't listening to this song. I was listening to my second favorite song from The Strokes a lot more at this time. And this song catapulted for me. So, third favorite song, Not the Same Anymore. They've given up on me, but I'm not the same anymore. I'm changing, no cap. My second favorite song from The Strokes and my favorite song off of the new Abnormal is At the Door. At the Door, Not the Same Anymore are really my emotional songs from The Strokes that just put me in that mode of feeling feelings that aren't things that I kind of could convey with my own thoughts or with my own words, but just listening to The Strokes and having them speak for me is everything. And having that relatability and having those sad points, you know, that you can just kind of sing your heart out in the car, sing your heart out when you're just, you know, listening to them. It means everything. My first favorite and my favorite song is not like that, but those two hit, and those two were my favorite two songs for a very long time until I heard this one. So with that being said, hit the subscribe button, watch the rest of my Strokes videos, send these videos to anyone that loves the Strokes, anyone that loves music just like we do. With that being said, my favorite song from The Strokes is Eyes of the World. Wow. I can't put the music up here for the copyrights and stuff, but man, I just want to rock out with y'all so bad. I go back and watch my own reaction to this album just to see that reaction, and I'm like, man, I love that song so much. It's my favorite for sure. It's my favorite. I listen to that song more than any other song on The Strokes on a daily. It seems like I just have that shit bumping. That's the song that I run to. I added it to my run playlist. I added it to my just hanging out and vibing playlist. It speaks to me because it's so deep within like theories and ideologies and thought processes that I truthfully love when it comes to like getting like that side of my brain. Then on top of it, I'm loving the guitar. I'm loving the drums. I'm loving the sound of how he's building up and then finally screams and belches out two different choruses he's belching out at the end. So either way, if he wasn't saying anything deep, it would have been a top 10 song for me when it comes to The Strokes. But then having it on top of it, I'm literally hearing eggs to fertilize, a body to deodorize, a child to criticize, a life to scrutinize. And then we go all the way to, well, generations to desensitize, but movie stars to idolize, leaders to scandalize, enemies to neutralize, no time to apologize. And then I see the title is Eyes of the Universe. Eyes. Everything ends with an eyes, a desk to organize. Who wrote this? I know they did, but goddamn. One of the greatest written songs. Like, that is insane. It's insane to write all that. And it keeps going with eyes of the world. Everything is like that. It gives me everything I needed within a song. Tell me, fam, is this alternative? What is this? This might be my favorite alternative song. We got to see when it comes to other artists like this right here. And you guys know this is rock, but I love it. If you guys want to see more of my rankings, I ranked My Chemical Romance as well. And we're about to be going on to ranking Tyler, the Creator, very soon. Just have to do Wolf from him. And a couple more rankings on the way. But that right there is my 25 favorite songs from The Strokes. And I ranked my least favorite to favorite album from The Strokes. I'm completely done, you guys. I listened to it all from them thank you to the Strokes. Thank you to you guys. And my first goal is to get to 10 rankings on my channel, because that means that I finished 10 whole discographies, which is insane. And then at the end of the year, maybe the goal will be 20, 20 or something. At some point, I want my ranking playlist to be really big, just like my reaction review playlist is big, because that really shows that I put the work in. That really shows that I've listened to everything, you know what I'm saying? And I'm honored by that. I'm grateful. Hit the subscribe button, fam. I'll see you guys in another video. Comment below whose discography lines up to the Strokes, and maybe it's not alternative, maybe it's a different artist that's just rock or rap or pop or R&B. It could be anything. Whose discography is someone that you're like, hold on, there's a bunch of albums that they have that you got to listen to. And yeah, whatever one kind of gets the most comments and stuff, I'll definitely pay attention to it. It's your boy JaKar. Thank you guys for watching The Strokes. Peace out.